like to start off with a public service statement. Socialism works for those who don't. That's funny. That's good stuff. Socialists, you guys are out. Because I'm paying for you. Yeah, tax-paying citizen. You suck. PG&E hiring off-duty Oakland police officers to protect crews working in the city. All right, for those of you not in California, PG&E is Pacific Gas and Electric. Pacific Gas and Electric serves about 16 million people, and they have a service radius or service area of, I think, 70,000 square miles. It's an enormous company providing infrastructure, mainly gas, utilities, sewer, whatever. Maybe not sewer, gas and electricity. It's a utility company, the backbone of what keeps the city running and not falling into that third world type structure. But that's what you've got in Oakland, is in order for their crews to not be robbed only of their equipment, but of their cell phones, their wallets, anything of personal property value. That's what's going on, because they've had so many incidents in Oakland of their crews being jacked. Let's get into it. Here we go. When I first saw this storyline, I thought, all right, why are they robbing utility crews? And then I got to thinking, why wouldn't they? They rob everybody else. They're an easy target. Plus, they got some good equipment. Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, whatever equipment you got that's, expensive, steal it, sell it, whatever. Crime is so out of control in Oakland right now. I'm reading so many stories out of Oakland because it's just like, that's not good. It used to be Florida, but we had all the whacked out stories. Now it's Oakland. By far and away, Oakland. According to the latest crime statistics from Oakland police, robberies are up 22% compared to this same time last year. And among the victims are utility crews. Yeah, not jewelers, not weed store employees in a store with a bunch of cash because they don't have access to the FDIC. Not even Safeway, not even a grocery store. Utility crews. Yeah, they're being held up in Oakland, right? The crews are being mainly targeted for their tools. Deanna Tibbs owns jigsaw puzzle manufacturer and retail store Oakland Puzzle Company. On Wednesday morning, she was concerned when she saw an Oakland police squad car parked in front of her building. Yeah, whenever you walk out of your office or your house or something and you see a cop car, your immediate thought is, good Lord, what's going down? Do I go back inside the house and grab my baseball bat, or what's the dealio here, right? I don't know about you, what you think. Maybe you grab your gun. Maybe I don't know what you do. Your golf club. I think I'm going to use the 3-iron on this bad boy. I don't know. But yeah, whenever you see a cop car, you're like, okay, glad they're here, but also, not glad they're here. Because that typically means something's gone sideways, right? Somebody's doing some shenanigans they shouldn't be, and the cops are there to investigate, right? I brought my daughter to work today, and I went up to the police officers, and I said, is there something going on? Because I want to make sure it's safe before my daughter gets out of the car, said Tips. But the police officer wasn't on duty. He's working overtime paid for by PG&E to provide security for the crew doing maintenance on an underground gas line. A gas line, folks. That critical little thing that keeps our houses warm. We can make pancakes on our gas stove. This is at East 10th Street and 6th Avenue. Yeah, we're not talking about an armed car, taking money from the bank to another bank. We're talking about guys who, maintain the backbone of utility services. In the case of PG&E, I'm going off memory here, but I believe they service like 70. It's a 70,000 square mile area that they cover, and it's 16 million residents. So it's a massive company covering a massive amount of territory. And, they work on utility lines and they're getting jacked. And so their solution, well, let's bring the cops in. Let's bring a cop in, because that's where it's gotten. I mean, I talk about why the streets are so clean in Seattle around Amazon. Private security. Yeah, private security is not going to allow the homeless drug addicts crap on their front stoop of Amazon building, whatever. You don't ever see that. It's a non-issue. You don't see the crazy human fecal matter on the sidewalk where Amazon's got the buildings, because Amazon doesn't allow that to happen. They clean their streets, right? They've got private security up the wazoo. I mean, the amount of money that Amazon pays on private security, Amazon doesn't really come out and state any of this because they want to say, oh yeah, well, we're allowing a certain percentage of our building to be used for the homeless. Yeah, just that woke stuff. In reality, they drop the hammer on more people than just about anybody else in Seattle. Yeah, no, you can't be there. No. You need to move along. And so this whole area of, Amazonville, South Lake Union, it's clean. It's tight because of private security. So that's the direction things have gone. Because if you don't have that, if you're a small business and you can't afford that, and you're in an area where you got a bunch of drug addicted homeless folks that are just whacked out of their minds, good luck, right? Good luck. That's not going to work out well. We don't want to be in a situation where folks don't have basic utilities because we're unable to provide an umbrella of protection for PG&E to fix a problem. That's Barry Donlan, the president of the Oakland Police Officers Association, the union that represents Oakland Police Department officers. Well, yes, and your officers are making good money on overtime. Let's be honest. But when you've got that going on, that means those officers, when they're working overtime for PG&E, that means they're not able to provide overtime for something that the city might need. And Oakland is shy about 500 police officers is my understanding. So, Oakland's got major issues as well. It's not only Portland. It's not only Seattle. It's not LA. Police, even in, somebody sent me an article on Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis has gone out of their way to hire an additional 200 state troopers. And the person that sent me the article said, hey, we're doing fine here. But in the body of the article, from the standpoint of, hey, we're not shy officers, but even the local police numbers in Memphis are down. They're not at a point where, you're going to be able to easily provide adequate public safety. So the state troopers in Memphis, they've been able to hire a couple of hundred. So they've gone out of their way to do that because they know that their local police numbers are down. And so even in a state like Tennessee, there's a struggle for public safety because of that whole defund the police thing and this anti-cop rhetoric that's been so prevalent the last few years, where especially in a city like Seattle, that's just wildly liberal. And you will still see in people's homes, defund the police. Hey, you know what? That's so 2020. I would request that you take that down because your fellow citizens are being impacted by that. Yeah, because we don't have enough cops. So take that damn sign down and burn it because that is pure crap, right? I mean, it just is. It just is to the point where I just got through talking about the exodus of residents from Oakland because they can't take it anymore. The NAACP, local official from the NAACP in Oakland and a local pastor said, hey, we got an emergency going on here. You need to declare an emergency. They wrote a letter, sent it out to all local and state politicians saying, hey, we got so many of our residents being impacted by all these varying levels of crime. You got to do something, declare a state of emergency, bring in the feds, do whatever you got to do, but make this happen. And one of the primary things that they pointed out, and this is the NAACP, was the defund the police. Yeah. Yeah. Didn't see that one coming, right? I mean, the whole defund the police and, crime levels go through the roof. Didn't see that one coming ever. I mean, we talked about that here a lot, right? I'm being facetious for if you think, oh, what's he talking about? I'm joking. It's just, it's not a funny thing because people's lives are being impacted because communities, defund the police. This is going to be the greatest thing ever. How's that working out for you? Not great. To the point where Oakland's NAACP is basically stating, we need help. He says PG&E started hiring off-duty Oakland police officers in November last year after a number of utility crews were robbed at gunpoint. Utility crews. Thieves demanding the crews hand over their tools and personal items like cell phones and wallets. Now, we've seen this, news crews. We've seen this from wedding photographers having their equipment jacked. We've seen that. How about in San Francisco, where the homeless rob the little robots that bring people food? They like hop on them and ride them, and then they tear all the food out of them. And varied states of lawlessness in different parts of the country. That would happen here in Seattle if we had little robots like that. But we don't, because we're just not, I guess we're not progressive enough, right? It's sad that we're in this situation. This should be a clarion call to city officials that we have got significant challenges around public safety in Oakland, explained Donlan. Significant challenges. That's a nice way of saying criminal activity is out of control, to the point where you have to have 24/7 police coverage of the dudes handling utilities for the city. I mean, that's insane. That is insane. That means anything is fair game. Anything is fair game. Hey, we don't care. We don't care who you are or what you do. Hand it over. Do not give a flying F. That's what you got. According to Oakland Police Department, PG&E pays for 24-hour protection for their gas and electric crews. There are up to 8 off-duty officers assigned to PG&E each day, with each officer working an 8-hour shift at a cost of $100.88 per hour. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. And you know who pays for that? Residents of Oakland being robbed. Residents of California, your utility rates are going to go up. It's a pass-through expense. Yeah, they might say, no, we're taking it from this other budget. PG&E is a business, right? So one way or the other, it's coming back to you in the form of a pass-through cost, period. Just is. This adds up to a tab of more than $6,000 per day, more than $500,000 per year. PG&E has to pay for the added protection. The question now is, will it be customers who have to pay for it in the end? Oh, no. The government's going to pay for it. The government's going to pay for it. I mean, those aren't, and the government has separate taxpayers' dollars than from your taxes. Yeah. Consumers pay for it. Clearly, right? Clearly. Obviously really upsetting that crime is so bad here that PG&E workers are at risk, said Tibbs. Yeah, that is kind of my thought. But when you read the other stories, how about like the car rental agencies in Oakland saying, hey, you might not want to rent a car here. You're probably going to get your car broken into. If you do rent a car here, make sure you don't leave anything in your vehicle. Stories about people, with their windows rolled down and, everything shy of just keys in the ignition. But that's not what the criminals want. They want the goods so they can go out and sell them. So, yeah. A representative from the union that represents PG&E workers says, while Oakland is the only city where the company is paying off-duty officers for protection, if it works, they might look at doing it in other cities where crews have also been robbed, like Richmond and San Francisco. Oh, it's comforting to know that we're adapting and we're reimagining and we're rethinking public safety in the form of just, off-duty police officers. So that whole defund the police notion. Yeah, that just didn't really go in the right direction, did it? No. I mean, and we're living through the proof, which is, a bunch of woke ideology like that's not really well planned out. I mean, what a harebrained idea. Take away half the police budget. That's what City of Seattle was talking about doing. Let's take away half the police budget, and I'm sure this will work out just fine. And give it to some social workers. I mean, okay. All right. I mean, I don't live technically in Seattle, but I'm willing to roll the dice and see how that works out. Nah, we've been talking about it from the beginning. It's a terrible idea. And you end up with this. Now, where a lot of this kind of goes sideways is people are all up in arms about this. It's been ongoing for years, right? These policies, procedures that are put in place, lack of ability for the police to basically do their job, all of that is taking years to manifest itself in a situation where criminal activity is just out of control, right? You're not going to unwind that easily. You're just not going to unwind that. It's not going to happen tomorrow. And even if you do declare an emergency, like the NAACP and a local pastor wants to in Oakland, what are you going to do? You're going to bring in the National Guard? You're going to put people on lockdown? You're going to declare a curfew? Because short of that, and then just have, crews of police run around out there and arrest people. And then are you going to have district attorneys that actually, put people in jail, prosecute people? Is that what you're going to do? That doesn't seem to be the mantra in Oakland right now, right? Was it Pamela Price? I think district attorney there. Not going well, right? Not going well. But you see that in Chicago as well. Chicago just been under a crime storm. And they had the opportunity this last election cycle for mayor to hire somebody that's got a little bit tougher stance on crime, little bit tougher public safety stance. And did they go with that individual? Nah, they went with Brandon Johnson, who's endorsed by the teachers union. He's progressive. So, you get what you vote for. You get what you pay for. So Oakland, unfortunately, you are paying big time right now for a history of going in the wrong direction. Public safety wise, you want to talk about other stuff? Well, right now we're just talking about public safety, but a lot of progressive stuff in Oakland, very progressive, except that progress is wrong direction. And it's so bad that you need basically safety crews for your utility crews. Yeah. But don't worry. You're going to, coming soon to a city near you that also has varying levels of extreme crime, namely Richmond and San Francisco. Wild stuff coming out of Oakland right now. And by that, I mean shenanigans, news for reasonable people style, right? And all that means is, criminal activity that we're going to talk about. So make sure that you've subscribed to this channel, hit the notification bell. Hey, we just hit 100,000 subscribers. If you're one of them, thank you so much. Literally couldn't have done this without you. Kind of goes without saying, right? All right. Yeah, Sean, I was a subscriber, so I'm part of that 100. Yes, you are. Thanks for being here. I'll catch up with you on the next one. Bye for now.